Hey guys, hope everyone's doing well. Um, I don't know what that song is called, but I'm hearing it right now, so I'm gonna Google what I think it is, and then we'll see the lyrics. Let's see. I got a new phone because I smashed mine like 3 days ago, 4 days ago now. I don't know, but I dropped underneath the couch, and then I went to go recline the couch, and um, and I messed up the screen. I couldn't click anything. I think it's Lowrider, but it might be Slow Rider. Technical difficulties. Got refresh, refresh. We had a campfire yesterday. It worked, by the way. We had a campfire yesterday. It was fun. It was so fun. And then we played poker after, and I whooped those guys in poker. My brother and his friends. I was like imagining like taking all the chips and like pulling them to me, right? And then I did win, so I was like, I just gotta do this. They were like, of course. Okay, it is called Lowrider. I'm gonna read some of the course or Lowrider. It was written by Jerry Goldstein. Appeared on the album Why Can't We Be Friends? Okay, I'm kind of getting something from that. There's an ex that's wondering like why can't we be friends? Okay, I'm pretty sure you can answer that. You can fill in the blank for yourself. Okay, and even if you would definitely leave out things because with this type of attitude, it's like definitely downplaying what someone did to another. Low rider. I heard low rider. Get a little something. All my friends know the low rider. Okay. And I'm getting someone like ducking in a vehicle, like they could be like, oh my back. They could be like leaning back or like ducking, like hiding and driving. And they're high. The low rider is a little higher. No judgments here, but just says that. The low rider drives a little slower. Low rider is a real goer. Okay, so that they know the street. Okay, they care about their reputation because that's the one to meet. Don't use no gas. Okay, what I was getting was that this person was gassing other people up to want to attack somebody, okay? And now they got to tread lightly because they did this and they got an opposite reaction, okay? I'm getting kind of like a chemical reaction, a chemical reaction. Someone like, damn, okay. Somebody was getting mail or packages sent to them under a fraudulent account or a fraudulent name. Okay, for example, if somebody was getting packages in my name, they were getting like lab instruments, okay? Like alarming amounts of like lab instruments and alarming amount of weapons too, so that the person that they were frauding, identity thieving from would look like, yeah, there would be a facade around them for what's coming in, okay? For what's coming in. This person lied to this person lied to the delivery driver in order to have these come in. It could be a fake ID or whatever, but they lied. Or at least this is what the delivery driver is claiming. This person's got. Okay. But in this particular thing, I was getting like lab, like meth lab, okay? Overindulging. Took this action. Okay. And this went along with their story that somebody is heavily addicted. Okay. And I'm not saying that lightly. I'm not saying that lightly. Okay. You could dabble in drugs and not be an addict. You can dabble in drugs and not be like, need it, right? Of course, there'll be the emotion fluctuation because you've been investing your time in this, but it's nothing you can't get through, and you know that. That's not an addict. Just to let you know, okay? Because for so long, I was going to these groups where like you had to claim that you were an addict, right? And then you'd go on and talk about all the traumas that would make you want to do that, okay? And I knew I was different because people were like, if I get happy, I want to do it. If I get so and so, I want to do it. So it was like not only if they were just sad or upset or over something, it's like even spurts of happiness they would want to use, right? And I wasn't really like that. I don't know, there was something different. I remember we were sharing one time, I'm not going to say any names or anything like that, but we were sharing in a circle, and there was somebody who said like things that they would do for their DOC, which is drug of choice. And I'm like, damn, like I would never do that. I would just I would go without, right? I would detox and my strength would grow, right? Because I stand in my power. I know what I stand for. I know that I wouldn't stand for certain things, right? Like certain stipulations, like it's just nothing, my mind wouldn't cross that bridge ever. That's not an avenue that I'd think up. And I'm like, we're different. We're different. And not in a bad way or any sort of condescending way. It's just like maybe you're like that as well. Maybe you're like that as well, and you're claiming yourself to be an addict and you're not. Okay? You're not. It's not that you are completely clean, but you're not a fiend. And that's what an addict is not being able to go without, thinking that you can't go without, your body literally depleting because You pushed yourself into believing that you can't go without. Okay? That's an addict. That's an addict. Okay, there was this one healer one time. I was telling her about how I'm an addict and blah 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 blah. And she's like, "You're not an addict. You never were an addict." And that opened my eyes, okay? You do have it in you. You do have it in you. And that's no diss at all. Like it's actually just some FYI. That was an eye-opening moment for me, right? So this could be for you as well. And people are telling you that you're an addict because you do drugs and then this happens. Yeah, everybody goes through an emotional roller coaster after their like um brain is trying to like balance out those chemicals, right? Of course that's going to fluctuate. And of course that calls upon like instability in some aspect, right? Whether it be big or small. And it doesn't help if these past people are influencing this. Someone's homies of the past, okay, they chose to invest with these homies that really didn't have their back for real. They were just wanting to be showered in riches. Showered in riches. Someone also gets paid to pee on someone here. Someone of the past. Yes, that's accurate. Okay, they didn't want this looked into. You shouldn't have thought about it. You shouldn't have thought about it on live. These past people are like looking back at something, like the seeds that they've sown, especially when it comes to this relationship with you, okay, because you're growing. It's very evident. It's very evident that you're growing, okay? It's very evident that these people pick you apart. Anything negative that they can have to say is what they'll say, and you already know that, so you couldn't care less, okay? Um, this is like a very selfish energy. Like they know they treated you like absolute shit in the past, okay? I'm hearing used and abused. Okay, so they used you and abused you for whatever it was that they were getting out of you. Time, money, energy. And because you're growing, they're like looking at how they treated you and they're understanding how selfish they were. How they allowed these past people to guide them to a place where it's unsatisfactory. It's not loving thyself. It's being very selfish to somebody who is actually invested in you, actually loyal to you, actually trying to grow something here, but you weren't giving them anything. This could be based off of like this could be based off of a faint memory, okay? A faint memory. Okay, understand that our memories fade over time. Sometimes they become a completely different story without us knowing it. Okay? So the fact that you based this neglect, this selfishness over a past memory of this person who is now loyal to you, now committed to you, now proud to be committed and loyal to you is delusion, okay? Because it's faded. It's a faded memory. And then, especially if you didn't address this person about this bad memory, it's like, what? Like, if that gets brought up in argument or conversation, it's like, damn, so you really just got with me to get back at me for back in the day, where potentially you were in the wrong and you just remember it incorrectly. That's kind of mental, right? It's kind of mental. Like there's a new perspective. They're studying it a different way. Okay, and then these people are also being watched. Okay, you illegally studied someone so that somebody wouldn't be able to love themselves was a tactic, so that somebody couldn't. You wanted to push someone to overindulge, so that you could have these ships come in for you based off this facade with the mailman and love offers. Okay, so you would have an interaction, an exchange of words, okay? And if this person thought that that person was attractive or they thought the conversation flowed smoothly between you two, they would come in, use some sort of charm, I'm hearing temptation, seduction, to lie about this person they saw you talking smoothly with to all these options, okay? Every single love option that they thought was a love option, okay? To steal somebody's love options. But it's like the joke is on you because this person is the love. This person is the love. Okay? If this is still an insane thought of yours, okay? If this is still a thought, a repetitive thought that always comes down to the same outcome, you could do this forever, okay? And this person not even acknowledging you because they really don't give a fuck about any of those love options that you manipulated um into having some sort of action done. You wanted to send lovers into this person so that they could lie on them, okay? Remember how we talked about sometimes our fake ass fucking friends or our fake exes or our fake family members, not our fake ones, but like two-faced family members. They will interact with us just to get us in a public place together or snap a picture of us in private just to say some shit, okay? Just to say some shit to hopefully change their outcome and look like the stable one, okay? So what they'll do is they'll have an interaction with you and then they'll get these people to lie and say that you're crazy, say that you're lying on someone, say that you're just jealous of someone, blah 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 blah. Okay? Stalker ass vibes. Heavy stalker. Damn. So these past people wish to see you overindulge or to not get your wishes of your own investments. If you are speaking or if you are intending, okay, the act of intent, if you feel something in your heart about this past person, you don't want them to get all of what they've invested their hard work into, their passion into, their confidence into, something that they're very good at. Okay. How do you think those grew in the first place? How do you think those investments were made in the first place? How do you think that connection that was so strong was made in the first place? The same passion you're being witness to. Okay. So the very fact that you want to belittle this person, the very fact that you want to disregard them being any sort of good at anything, you're jealous. Okay. It just says that you're jealous. If you can't accept that somebody is more successful than you, that same somebody that you had that bad fated memory with, that same somebody that you couldn't give wish fulfillment to because of greed, because of someone's desperate now. They're looking back at the way they treated someone and now they're desperate. Desperate doesn't look good on anybody. I forget what I was going to say before that, so maybe it wasn't that important. Yeah, you just don't want to be left out of this person's energy. because you want to continue to create these toxic scenarios with these past people to have this person not get their wish fulfillment. You're not going to get your wish to want to murder this person or have them mentally break. You're not going to get that wish. Okay? All right, I remember it now. If you're putting that intent out into the universe and sending it towards a past person that you have some sort of skewed vendetta for, okay? This person didn't do anything to you. They just didn't allow you to use they just didn't allow you to use them anymore. This person stood their ground and that's all that they did. Okay? So you're in the wrong to begin with. This person is in the wrong to begin with. And they're just continuously fucking lying. To look right. That doesn't make you any more right, it makes you more wrong. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I wish I could pause this. Okay, you guys might want to like skip forward a little bit because anyways, if you put that out into the universe, expect for all your hard work, earned pay that you think that you're deserving of, you not get those wishes because you sent that to somebody off of some delusional thought, some delusional faded memory, right? So don't be surprised when that happens. That's why you don't wish that upon people. Okay. These past people that were invested with whoever has this sort of vendetta towards you, they see this person as a hater now, as a hater, as somebody who was very selfish to somebody who was all in with them. Yeah, they see it for what it is. They see like they see you as like a hoe. They see you as a hoe. Okay? And this is what you could have been projecting onto somebody else. Um them being a witness to this person's grounded energy makes them know, reading between the lines, that everything that you called this person is either who you are or who the person you're with now is, or both to a certain extent, right? You made this irrational decision to work with these past people for these investments and then treating this person who is all in with you like complete shit. And that's why you're going through bad luck, bad karma. Okay? Like it's like what you called for was constantly calling in love offers that lie. Love offers that have many offers, right? Love offers that know exactly what to say to keep you going, to string you along, to make you feel in love with them. And it was all a fucking lie. Because this is what you did to this person by manipulating them with love and then having their investments come in for you. Like a selfish person. Okay? It's like this person this person didn't even have to do anything to you, and you fucked them over like that. Like, that's not a good person to have around, right? That's a liability. That's a liability because they're going to do that to the next person who they see investments growing, so that it can shower down on them too, right? This Queen of Wands won't take you back. Nope, they'll never talk to you again. They'll never talk to you again. That's how big this betrayal is. That's how long this has been going on. It could be going on for up to 7 years here. 7 years, okay? Of hard, dedicated blood, sweat, and tear work with no return. That's how you know this person has a strong belief system, whether you want to discredit that or not, okay? You can indulge in alcohol, sex, and drugs moderately and have a strong belief system. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise, because that's a fucking lie. Okay? It's just a lie, right? It's like, so you're condemning people who are in a bad position or in a slump, right? That they don't have that connection to God. Yes, they do. Just as much as you do. Just as much as they put into that relationship. High, drunk, getting it in or not. Okay? It's just the truth, right? It's like they can talk to God just as much as you do, through their thoughts, through their emotions. It's that intent of communicating and then feeling as if that information has been received, heard, and then waiting patiently for the answers, right? You can do that when you're what would you call that? Yes, you very much can. I know because I did. Okay? I know because I did. Okay? Everybody deserves a relationship with God. Everybody. Everybody. Addicts, alcoholics, serial killers, okay? Everybody, every human deserves that, okay? Every human deserves a connection with God. Okay? And no one is exempt from that. And no one has a stronger connection. How do you know? Are you God? Are you that other person and you at the same time and know that for a fact? No, but you could energetically feel that and respect that person for it, right? Yes. So it's like, how you can't really judge people. You can get away from them because you know that they're not in a good state of mind, right? But you don't need to shit talk them behind their back. You don't need to um, look appalled when you see them, right? You don't need to, like, how about take all of that energy that you're trying to judge someone else with, okay? And critique yourself so that you could create improvements within your own life, right? Self mastery. Then that constructive criticism, that criticism will actually be put to work, okay? Instead of rotting your brain. Instead of rotting your brain and calling in negativity that then makes you ill or calls in no good relationships, lying relationships that just use you for money, that are selfish, right? That are just in it for the investments. They don't want to be left out of this opportunity to be stable financially. No, because that's not how I operate. How I operate is I invest in these core values that I would like to call in for myself. Okay, so if I have a relationship, I'm going to be loyal to that relationship. If there's some lies in the background that these love interests or friends or family members are manipulating to have something come in for them, I will tell this person if they're my friend. I will tell this person if they're my family member and I love them. I will tell this person if I respect them by any means. Okay? I might come about it like, okay, I have to tell you something serious. You're going to have to sit down for this, right? But I tell them because I want friends that are loyal. I want family members that are loyal. I want like people that I do business with, like potentially later down the line, right? To feel what it's like to have a relationship with respect. Okay, so loyalty is one of these core values that I practice. Okay, integrity, integrity. So if I see something that is a complete facade to manipulate, I would report it. I would. I would report it if I knew that that person did not deserve that. Like maybe I wouldn't if it was none of my business and I didn't know the person, and or I knew that the person was like a huge piece of shit and they'll figure it out eventually, right? But knowing that that person is just a really great person, a really genuine person, a person who wants to teach people things that are not necessarily known to everybody, right? They just want to share what they know. They're inspired by it. It brings them peace. Okay, this is what they call in. You know this person, like anybody but this person doesn't deserve this. And they know it because they're a witness to this person's energy. This person's loving energy, this person's happy energy. And it's like, this is exactly why you wanted this person to look a certain way, look paranoid, look skinny, look thirsty, look like a liar, look like they heard sex traffic. Okay. This is why you wanted to create these lies around this person so that other people wouldn't go near them. Okay. Because these people going near this person, even for a moment in time, um, and any more than that it's just blatantly obvious that you lied on this person. You had this person attacked. And in fact, this brought you great pleasure. These people are like, okay, so you're telling me that you got this type of person who anyone would be like very, very, very lucky to have. Finances aside, finances aside, this is a person who makes an effort to nourish those parts of themselves that make them this way, that make them this empowered woman, this empowered man, that knows how to operate even within the lies, the facade. Hey, babe. Ow, my back. In a half an hour when Mac leaves, okay? So in 30 minutes. Okay, I'm going to finish this reading, okay? Yeah. It's like you demolished that. You obliterated that. You freaking kicked that while it was down and spat on it too, right? And then did it in front of these other past people so that these past people would have the same energy grow within them, and then that would also be a multiply of these attacks, right? These these egotistical fucking, I don't even know what to call it. It's like very arrogant in the way that they were investing to talk shit on this person, to make sure that they don't get anything that they wish for, to ugh. It's like these people wouldn't have did it if they didn't see you doing it like that. It's like you were the person who connected them to this great person. That was the connection to these past people that were invested in attacking them, ruining their reputation, lying about false memories, like saying that they had slept with this person. I'm getting someone's friends, okay? Someone's ex's friends said that you slept with every single one of them. And you didn't, you haven't, okay? I've had that happen to me. I had that happen to me in high school, and I've had that happen to me just recently, where like people are saying that, where do you get off? Because it wasn't here. Yeah, it wasn't here. What? I'll show you after this reading, okay? It's just about done, babe. Patience is a virtue. What does patience mean, babe? Nicely. To wait nicely. Yeah. Okay. What you think that if you're waiting and you're screaming and yelling about what time it is, I'll think that you're patient? I'll think you're impatient.
I am patient.
Prove it. Yeah, they're walking away from this person. They're like, damn, if you can't treat someone like this, that was supposed to be your person. If this is what you do to this person, you're not gonna stand for me. Homie or not.
What?
Sister or not. Cousin or not. It's like if you don't stand for this person, what do you stand for? Not even themselves. Because they don't love themselves. Because they don't nourish the core values within themselves.
What the?
That's not a priority of theirs. And it wasn't always a priority of mine either. Like periodically, as I was going through lessons and fucking up in life, I knew that I didn't like that and I wasn't going to do that again. So I didn't. So I always kind of was investing in this just without knowing, with these past shitty relationships, right? It's like, oh, that happened. Okay, so now how can I make this so that that never happens again? Or so that I could flip that around so that I don't ever do that again. Okay? When I was about 12 or 13, I had my first boyfriend. And it was a long distance relationship, okay? He spent summers at the same campsite that my family spent summers at, okay? So we were like, we started this relationship in the summer. Okay, he moved back to Calgary at the end of the summer. Well, he just went back home. And my best friend's older brother had a crush on me and I didn't know about it. And then out of nowhere he pulls me to the side and he tells me this and he kisses me. Me being young, I'm just like a really cute boy kissing me, right? I kissed him back. My long distance boyfriend's cousin walked around the corner who also had a crush on me, right? So it was like it took him all of like 5 minutes to get a hold of my boyfriend to tell him that, right? So that we would break up. And he broke up with me. And I was heartbroken because I loved my boyfriend. I didn't love my best friend's brother. that was just brought upon me. Okay. And I engaged and I allowed it to happen. All right. So that was the first, like, I didn't do that anymore. I broke my own heart. I broke my own heart with my very first love. Okay. And I was very disappointed within myself. And I never wanted to feel like I'd hurt someone like that again. Because I hurt so bad off of knowing that the person that I loved hurt like that, you know? Um, so that was a lesson learned very young. There's some people who have learned that lesson and then got involved with a cheater, and then you guys were kind of just like doing tit for tat, or like that's not the same. That's not the same, okay? Where is it? For sure.
Okay. Subscribe to Mom's videos. Did you hear me?
These past people don't want to transfer a sickness onto somebody. Like they overindulged with one of these past people. Somebody's claiming that they're not sick. But at the same time, low key, in the back of their mind, they know that they don't want to transfer this to you. They know that you've been through enough with these past people and them being a piece of shit. So it's like these past people could have said, like, you're having an interaction with this person. Now is your time to invest in overindulging sexually with this person and getting them sick. But this person is being standoffish to this past person because they don't want to transfer this to somebody. It's like it's bad enough that they had to experience you, who didn't stand for shit, who wasn't any sort of a man, wasn't any sort of a woman to be respected, to have respect for this person, who had the utmost for you. Okay, it's like they thought about this. They thought about this. They even had this drive to do it at a certain point. It grew. It grew. This drive to do this. This drive to what? Overindulge, to have you overindulge. To grow a relationship over time so that you would eventually want to overindulge. The Queen of Wands, very confident in their power. Okay. They're understanding that this probably isn't even a possibility. Okay. Could be because you're psychic or because you're very heavily protected. Okay. It's just like something doesn't feel right. They could say it, they could say something that's like you're not fully 100% on board with because there is some sort of ulterior motive. And even if it's not there now, it was. Okay. And the energy will pick up on that.
Oh.
So now that they've been watching and seeing that they can't have you overindulge, and they're seeing the parts of you that you nourish. They're seeing the parts of you that you choose to look at that others don't. Okay. So this allows them to now feel like as if I even ever wanted to do this to this type of person. This type of person that has been treated like shit in the past and still chooses to grow and not only that, but flourish, nourish others around them with their lessons, with their seeds of knowledge. Okay? When these past people are just acting good, acting hot, and planting seeds of doubt, planting seeds of depression, planting seeds of overindulging, right? Like all the wrong things. Okay. And then you're like, the more and more that you've been trying to get this person or like entertaining this idea, the more and more you're getting to know this person. the more and more you're holding this person on a high pedestal because they hold themselves on a high pedestal.
Oh.
Observing this person is teaching you something. And it should. This person's very, very, very special. Very, very passionate, very fierce in nature.
Is it Jesus?
It could be Jesus. Do you love Jesus?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh. What is it?
So now they're deciding to look back. Now that they have this in their mind, I'm getting like this is playing in their mind. They're like, damn, people really fucking grimy as shit out here. Don't deserve the opportunities, right? Like this person feels like you never deserved an opportunity with this type of person. And they're right. No, you were a lesson. You were a lesson. And they were a lesson for you, right? And then whether or not you chose to grow that part of you, to learn that lesson or deny it, making it something that it's not, making this person someone that they're not. Okay, surrounding them with these past people that you're fucking gassing up to do the same shit based on a fucking faded memory, or it could be a completely eluded memory illusion, because there's lots of lies here. It's like this person doesn't even give you a reason to be mad, and that's why you had to lie on them. That's why you had to lie on them like that, and that's why you didn't want this person in the group of whatever, because you would have them see how they operate, and it's just nothing like you said. So there's a type of perspective change. There's a type of feeling the need to put some sort of respect on someone, whether it be with your actions, your words, no longer engaging with these past people. And maybe it's not completely, but you're sure as shit not going to talk about this person.
What is happening?
Or if they talk about this person, you'll be like, hey,
Talk about.
watch your mouth, right? Like, fucking don't talk about that person in front of me. You only have to say it once for them to get it. Maybe twice. The third time, you'll probably be pretty pissed off and not talk to them ever.
What?
Right? Because they don't listen. They're not listening. They don't care. They don't understand. They don't know what to know. They don't even know what to know when it comes to this person or you or themselves.
Oh,
right?
I don't know.
And then you'll understand that like you've been like nourishing people who aren't even on your level. You just stifled yourself to these people's level. Okay, I'm getting that you've always been smart. Okay, you've always been able to get things done when other people would be shook, right? At the end of the day, you had your back and you got shit done, right? It's like, so you were the smart guy, you were the cleanup guy, like you were the closer, right? You were the whatever it was, but there was a certain amount of intellect and maybe manipulation. Yes, a heavy manipulation. Heavy manipulation, but still, you still got it done, and you did it with confidence where these people respect you. You could have helped other people when they had bad interactions with bullies of their past. Okay, so these people hold you in high regard. It's like somebody put themselves around a group of people because they liked being the smart person. They liked being the smart person of the bunch, but they stifled.
I'm the smart person.
You are. But in doing so, they stifled their own growth. In doing so, they stifled their own growth because when you say something that's put in your mind by your intuition, by your inner knowledge, by your higher power, by your experiences in life, and you grow off of that thought will manifest. It will snowball. It will broaden, right? It'll open up further and further depending on how much you can open your mind up to that thought, right? then you can excuse me and go inside because I can make my video, okay? I'm gonna go for like 5 minutes longer. I'll finish this point and then I will be done. But you don't need to be timing my videos. You can go inside. Okay, so we have these intuitive downloads, these thoughts. Okay. People claim them to be their thoughts, okay? And it could be because of something that you've seen, which then reminded you of another thing, but those are downloads, right? There's a reason you got a nudge to pick up on that, and then that thought fell into your mind. It's so cool. It is so cool. Anyway, someone needs to be more grateful for the spiritual aspect of things, okay? Because sometimes other people get that swiped from them because either they abuse energy work or they do something that was very undeserving. And that ability to pick up and see the signs or have an image bring up a memory and experience and then have a download be dropped into their head where they're like, oh, I get something, right? Imagine not having that. Imagine just not having that at all, ever. That happens, okay? And that happens a lot, right? Yeah. And that's for nourishing all the wrong things. Like, I'm surprised that this energy hasn't rubbed off. And if it has, that's the reason for your loss of ambition. That's the reason for your anger. That's the reason for your what the fuck is wrong with people? Okay? It's like that energy, that energy of aimlessly walking through life because there's manipulation and negativity consistently. Okay? It's swiped these people's their gifts, their openness to receive, like their open-mindedness to know what it is and how to get it, not by any sort of manipulation, by manifesting it off of their own energy, not sacrificing somebody else's or harnessing somebody else's. Actually, you will have bad karma for that, just for the intent of doing that. When this person would most likely free willingly give you that energy if you were bold about it, if you were open about it. If you've tried, you know, and if you haven't, try instead of that manipulation way because that will only fail. It's temporary. It's temporary. It's a temporary fix. It's a temporary high. You're going to have to come back for more unless you start within yourself. Okay? You start doing this for yourself. You don't even have to know how, man. You just have to like sit and communicate with God. Okay? I remember when I first started talking to God, I felt so stupid. I still don't even pray out loud is the honest truth. Okay? Every once in a while I'll write down my prayer and then I'll have the confidence to read it then. But when I can't just freely the way that I'm speaking to you now so freely without like really messing up my words, sometimes I do, but like I still can't speak like that to God. And I don't know why. I like get tripped up because I'm like, I feel like it needs to be the best, right? I feel like it needs to be like, and then I get tripped up and I'm like, oh wait, what did I want again? What did I want to ask? I can't do it yet, but I'm working towards it. That's why I write it down and I will read it out loud. But like constantly throughout the day, I'm thinking and I'm thinking these thoughts as if my higher power is in my mind with me, which he is if I believe it to be. Okay, he can hear our thoughts. He knows our intent. He knows our heart. Okay, he knows our heart. God knows our heart. And if these people have some sort of malicious evil intent or some sort of vampire, some sort of whatever, Sometimes they don't even know they're doing it because that intuition, that download part of them, that spiritual part that they refused to nourish, that they neglected, they actually did the opposite and got involved in dark arts. Something that would completely sabotage for a certain period of time, however long or however drastic, whatever energy work that they've done towards others, right? So sometimes it's not even starting from ground zero. Sometimes it's starting from the hole you dug for others, right? And that'll take some time, but it'll be worth it. Okay, because this love that you have for self will be genuine. These offers that you have for other people will be genuine. And when you're genuine, you can tell these lies, you can tell these wannabes, you can tell these facades from a mile away. Because it won't feel the same as you feel. Right? If I'm nourishing myself with love and I only cherish relationships that are reciprocated, like I'll still have other relationships, I just won't cherish it as much as this one. Because I feel that real love. Because I really love myself. Right? It's like you'll know who
You do love yourself.
you will know where your loyalties lie. And it'll be a good loyalty. It'll be a loyalty that'll have your back through thick and through thin, through these lies, through any partner, right? Anything that comes in for you, they'll be genuinely happy for you, genuinely celebrating you, with no expectations in return. Just, I'm glad to see you're doing good. I'm doing good. Let's go do this together, and then back to our personal lives. And maybe if we are like, maybe if you are like catching up and something arises that you don't know what to do, you will be able to lean on each other's advice and know that it's not some lie to have you going in some sort of manipulated direction. It's not some sort of ruse to use you or to love bomb you for money. I'm getting love bomb for money. So you could get love bomb for money. This person doesn't love bomb you for money. And even if you've ever given this person money, you didn't feel like it was love bombing for money. You just genuinely wanted to help this person out. I don't know, someone's like learning a very, very valuable lesson. Okay. And you are the first of how many people that have been conspiring against this person over the past how many years?
Are you done your video?
Wow. Wow.
Mama,
You just gave this person hope.
I thought you were done your video.
Whether or not you succeed in that, the idea is there. And they know it, they feel it. Okay? So your genuine efforts to see this person for who they are authentically is giving this person hope that not everyone's the same. So this tells me that there's been a period of time, years, up to 7 years, right? Up to 7 years where this person has experienced people coming in lying for one reason and one reason only. And not seeing this person for anything less than what they could gain off of them. And that's where this disappointment comes from. That's where this humbleness comes from. That's where this pure-heartedness, choosing to focus on core values instead of anything else, comes from. This is what makes them so beautiful. This is what makes them such a package. Somebody who demands respect. You want to respect this person. And they want to respect you. And they've wanted to respect anyone of their past too. They just refuse to see it that way. Why do you think they're going so hard?
Huh?
Right? They're not allowed back.
Are you done? How many minutes are you going to make the video? Now?
7 minutes, and then it's 5 o'clock, and you can get the iPad. Panicked because they wanted to pin you for something, some sort of criminal acts. They can't pin you for this. Yes. Something was stated. Something was stated. This is also being stated that these people wanted to have you in a state of fear, anxiety, panic, okay? So that you would look like you fit the bill, okay? Because they already stated that you were doing all these criminal acts, okay? So I was getting mail fraud, okay? And then these people getting like meth lab equipment and weapons and drugs through to somebody with a fake ID, whatever. They frauded this person out to make them bear a cross that they've been creating for somebody. Yes. They've been receiving these things. Queen of Cups. So that they would have an abundant amount of truth statements on this empath. Yeah, they were stalking you. They were stalking you, making sure that, okay, so this is what they were doing. They were like monitoring someone, surveillancing someone, and then understanding what these scenarios, like going out to the gas station would be, what interactions you had, whatever, just so that what they put in this statement looked accurate. Okay, because what you're stating actually did happen is accurate. So they want it to look believable, just like you. But it's not, okay? They want to hold on to these finances, this financial independence. They want to keep on stalking you. They're in their emotions because people know this to be true. And then this person took some sort of negative action for you. You're cut. You're cut. You're cut. This person knows the truth now. This person knows the truth now. They know how unstable you are. They know how you got an entire fucked up community to work against this person, to have this person asked out because they spoke their truth, and their truth makes you look like the piece of shit you are. Okay, makes you look like all those seeds that you've sown. Rightfully so. Okay, this person has engaged enough with this person to understand that you are the problem. You are a part of this person's story, yes, but it's just very simply put facts. They don't drag your name through the mud and lie on you, blah, 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 blah. No. And this is why you're panicked. They're very simple, to the point, the truth about what you did to them and their experiences with you. And that's it. And then there's you, on the other hand, that will stalk, harass, get other people to do the same thing, fucking gas them up, just off the sake of somebody else bearing these crosses that you do. Psycho. And not the good kind. Not the good kind of psycho, okay? Like, not a badass. It's like a bad asshole, okay? Who's very selfish and didn't know how to treat something right because they don't know how to love themselves. Like, they don't know how to trust their own intuition. They rejected it. They rejected their love from God. This was supposed to heal you. This was supposed to heal you. And not only did you reject it, you disregarded it and then lied on it, and then energy harvested off of it. This person's energy, their essence. This is what you did. So no, this person doesn't want you in their life. No, this person doesn't want to speak to you, even if those past people are connected to this person in any way. They don't want to speak to you through them. They don't want to hear from you through them. Those are two completely different relationships, and you fucked this one right up. Okay? Due to selfishness, due to pains of the past, as if this person had anything to do with it. No, they didn't. You took this out on somebody who didn't deserve it. And this is why you're having bad luck. This is why you're not getting your wishes to have this new love with them. Why aspire to have this new love with them anyways? Because they're stable and grounded financially. They're having this financial change in their life. That's why. Like, that's it. Like, point, period. That's why. And this person doesn't even give a fuck about that. Okay, understand the things that they choose to nourish, the things that they choose to work on. So the reason for you wanting this back is something that they don't even, like, sure, they have it a priority, like, we need money, right? But it's not even close to being up to what's really important about this person on a soul level. You guys just don't resonate. I don't know if you ever have. Okay, because I feel like this person was putting themselves in positions where they could feel smart. They could feel like the smartest in the room. And they did. Okay? And they did. But they also stifled their own growth in a way. Okay? You could have created a lot of friends, a lot of lifelong friends, but ultimately more issues than anything. And a lot of lack of growth. You could understand that you could be like, you could have plateaued a long time ago. And now it's just a constant up and under and up and under and up and under. It never really goes past a certain threshold anymore. It could be getting boring, right? And this is what happens when you put yourself in a position where you know that you'll be seen as smart. Okay? Because you're not challenging yourself in a healthy way. Okay? You could be indulging in these things that bring you temporary high or like instant gratification, but it doesn't grow your mental state. It's not growing emotionally. It's just like a fluctuation, right? There's no progression, no real progression. There's progression and then it's stifled. Okay, so I was speaking on if we have an idea, a downloaded idea, and we sit on it for a while, it'll grow. It'll grow as far as we can expand it within our mind. However our mind, like, however open-minded we are, right? The possibilities are endless. Okay? So if you're around these types of people who don't experience that, who don't nourish that spiritual side about them, they will, not even on purpose, they will disappoint with what they choose to grasp from what you're saying. It's like, I said all that and that's what you got from it, or you chose to do that with what I said or with what I did. Like, you didn't even do anything good with that opportunity. Like, what the fuck what am I doing this for anyways, right? They don't mean to do that. Okay? They could potentially not know that they're doing that, or they've been doing that for so long and that's what works for them. Okay, that's your fault for putting yourself out there on a limb for that person. Okay? Like, you shouldn't have done that. You just asked to be disappointed. Just about. You can go ask. Oh, tell Mac that he has to go home. He has to go home. He had to go home 3 minutes ago. Say, Mac, you have to go home. It's 5. But even like these types of situations can grow too if they choose to. If they choose to. It's just someone had some sort of pride about always knowing what to do, always being the person that people turn to because they know what to do. They're experienced. Okay, they know this. They know this field. They know this life, right? They know what to do. Very knowledgeable. Like this could be knowledgeable on why something didn't work or on why people didn't love them back. And they know it had nothing to do with them and everything to do with this person who couldn't love them back. They have a good understanding of this because they've experienced it. So you've experienced a certain, I don't know what it is. You know what it is. It's your behavioral pattern. You've experienced this so much that you have so much knowledge and you know how to operate it. Okay? This person could see that in you too. Okay? So what they're going to do is they're going to listen to you, and they're actually going to listen to you, and they're going to challenge what you think. Okay? And they're going to sit back and observe what you choose to treat them like once they say this. Okay? So say like you're doing something and then this person gives you a little piece of advice and then they just sit back and they see what you do with that. Either you're going to take it into consideration, embody that, and just fly with it, right? See where it gets you, right? Like it's like this person's putting an energy out there and you are riding with it, okay? You're riding with it. This person is a no nonsense type of person. Nope. If you bring that towards this person, that's the day you'll be fucking out of their life forever. Right? It just is. This person doesn't have time to play these types of games, and maybe they've entertained it for however long, until they received fully, yeah, this now I know. I've seen enough, right? Just like you've seen enough to decide who is who in this scenario, this lie that somebody painted around someone. This person will see that within you after however many chances, however long their forgiveness quota is for you, right? And that's different, right? Because sometimes we choose to allow our bond with that person trump our mind, but eventually this person is very smart, okay? And they won't be used like that. Eventually they'll allow their mind to be like, no, not allowed, not now, not ever, okay? Even if it has happened in the past. Someone no longer wishes to do this though, because they see someone's energy as something to be cherished. So long as you're around this person, respecting this person's going to respect you. They're going to nourish you in the mind, okay, in the heart, and in the spirit. Generously. There's no price tag on that. And if there is, you'll be gone. Because this person doesn't appreciate being used, doesn't appreciate disrespect like that. They see that your loyalties are elsewhere. When their loyalties within the relationship between you and them, even if it's just a friendship, acquaintance, work partner, actual relationship, is your loyalties are elsewhere. It's energetically felt because you could tell that you're thinking something and you're not saying it. Or maybe you can only do that for so long before you realize that you're running back to somebody, you're reporting to somebody, and that somebody's telling you to keep this person in the dark, but they don't get their wishes and they don't get true love. When you know yourself that they're very deserving of it, even if it isn't a friend. And the karma that comes with that. Bad, 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 bad. Bad, 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 bad. Just a very good-hearted person. And it's not to say that they're not a little bit wild. We all have that shadow part of us that is essential, okay, to life in a world like this, right? We need that, right? I remember writing down all my my defects, okay? Going back to when I was like in NA. I was writing all these things down, and it was it was toxic behavior patterns that I picked up along the years, okay? And every single one of those I still use today, just in a completely different way. I am stern and I am stubborn-headed still, but only when it's too important not to be. Like going along with something, or doing something based on a lie, doing something that I know that I don't stand for, that I wouldn't want done to me. Right? It's like there's certain things that we need to do at certain times. And maybe it never happens and we never have to do that thing. But maybe it does and we're prepared, right? So I'd flip these toxic things, and I would figure out a scenario that would actually benefit me, that I already have that skill. Now I'm turning these things that were toxic, negative, like seeds of doubt that were manifesting more misery, more chaos, more downfalls. I flipped the script on it, and now I'm only doing it when it's needed, absolutely needed. So I can be fair. Okay, this is calling a more balanced scenario, more balanced whatever. Maybe you didn't even call this. Maybe this is a strike of luck, okay? Because I'm getting fate. And fate, luck is another word for fate, right? It's like, what are the chances? What are the chances? Okay? God could be like, I'm giving you some options. I'm giving you some options. One's a complete lie, and one is so mystical that you won't even know if you should believe it. It seems fantasy, it seems mystical, it seems like surreal. Okay, and I'm going to put all these options in front of you. What are you going to choose to do? What are you going to choose to engage in? What are you going to allow to happen? This could be a test. Yeah, somebody's ancestors are watching. This is a test. This will determine your fate. So it is lucky that you met this person. Like, just so happens you guys ended up on the same path because these people chose to lie on this person. If these people didn't choose to do this, defamate this person's character, you guys would have never ended up on the same path. There's some sort of luck here. Okay? So it's like these ancestors are waiting to see if you'll take this for granted, or if you'll choose to believe. At least open up your mind to it. They're showing you something. They're showing you something about all of these people. It's up to you whether or not you receive the message. Okay, I think I'm gonna end it there. Yeah, these people don't intentionally mean to stifle your growth. It's just when you have this thought, keep it to yourself. Like, think to yourself. If you think to yourself, you're talking to God, okay? If you think to yourself, you're talking to God, because God reads our thoughts, our intents, our heart. So keep that between you and God. Keep it special, right? don't let them deflate you as soon as it comes to your mind, because if you do that, then you're going to be pissed off at this person. You're not going to allow that to grow. You're not going to be joyous about that anymore because you're too busy defending it to somebody else who isn't open to receive it anyways. That's why they didn't get it. They didn't receive it, right? It's like the opportunity that you have to challenge yourself with being around somebody like this. It feels good. It feels healthy. It feels different. It's a soulmate energy, and a soulmate is a person who comes into our life and teaches us a lesson, whether it is good or bad. It can be a karmic soulmate, it can be a positive, healthy soulmate, right? These can be siblings, these can be mothers, these can be lovers, these can be anyone that taught you a lesson. Okay? Pets are soulmates. Okay. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.